Hello everyone, welcome. So as you can tell on this video, I'll be sharing my recipe on Pangasius, which is known as Malangwa in Lingala. So if you like this recipe, please do not forget to give it a thumbs up, comment down, let me know what you served it with, and also suggest any video you'd like me to make. Share with your friends and families, and do not forget to click that subscribe button and the bell so you can be notified when I post. I hope you enjoy. So I'll be using 1 onion, Scotch bonnet chili. If you're not a fan of spicy food, you don't have to use it. Bell pepper, ginger, spring onion, tomato puree, 2 cloves of garlic, and for the dry spices I'm using nutmeg, dry thyme, all-purpose seasoning, dehydrated chicken stock, and Maggie cube. I've also got here about 100 grams of chopped tin tomatoes, and obviously the start of the show, I've got here 800 grams of Malangwa, which is Pangasius steak. I've cleaned this already. I normally do it when I buy it and I had it in the freezer. It just makes things easier. I've also included on this video, I'll share with you the steps on how I clean it. And I almost forgotten, I'll also be using some vegetable oil. So for more information, please check out the description box below, and I'll go through the measurements throughout the video. So first thing first, what we need to do is clean the fish. I'm starting off with running some tap water into the bowl. Then I'm going to open it up from the middle like this. My knife was quite big, so I had to grab a smaller one. Then remove the guts from the fish, as you can see. Making sure you remove all of that so it can be clean. Once I do that, I'll run some tap water and continue removing the remaining. And when it's done, et voila, look how beautiful it looks, super clean. This is going to taste elengi. So, as you may know, this is a very oily fish. On the inside top layer, you will see some fat, which I'll suggest to remove it because it's not appetizing. I do this by scraping it off like this, as you can see, then repeat the same process with the rest. So once that's done, I'll rinse it with water, then squeeze in some lemon juice. And begin to gently massage the skin of the fish with the lemon. You may not have to do this, but I do this because it makes me feel better. And also it just tastes amazing with it because I just rinse it once after so they can keep that lemony flavor. So for the seasoning, I'm adding 1 tablespoon of dehydrated chicken stock, half a teaspoon of all-purpose seasoning, dry thyme, and nutmeg. All I had left was half a teaspoon of all-purpose seasoning. Leave it aside because we're going to use it later. So what I'm doing here, I'm just mixing it all together so that it can marinate. The reason why I don't like to add the fresh garlic and ginger on this step is because the spices that I'm using already has it. I like to add it on a different step that you'll soon see. So yeah, I'm just gently rubbing it. Once it's done, I'll leave it aside to marinate while I get the rest of the ingredients ready. Obviously, the longer you leave it, the better it marinates. You can leave it overnight, you can leave it for a few hours, but for me, I left it for about 30 minutes, I suppose, because I was cooking it the same day. I didn't have time. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it aside to let it marinate. So while the fish is marinating, I'll go ahead and chop my onions, spring onions, bell pepper, ginger, and garlic. With the bell pepper, as you can see, it's a bit like soft. The reason being is because it's been in the freezer so it can remain fresh. Now with the ginger, I like to chop it very small as I can. Then at the end, we've got here about half a teaspoon of ginger. With the garlic, same news, chopping it as small as I can. Then at the end, we've got here about half a tablespoon. And all the vegetables, as you can see, are very nicely chopped and ready to be cooked. Now this is my favorite part. When you make the sauce, you mix everything together. The aroma is just beautiful. Right here I've got my pot on medium to high heat. As I mentioned, Pangasius is an oily fish, so do use your oil accordingly. As for me, I'm using 3 tablespoons of vegetable oil. Once the oil is ready, I will go ahead and start frying them onions. Then stir it until it starts getting soft. Then I'll add in half a tablespoon of tomato puree and give that a stir as well. Next, adding the spring onions. Soon after that, you can add in your garlic and ginger. Give it a quick stir, then add bell pepper and 100 grams of chopped in tomatoes. Soon after that, you can also add in about 100 milliliters of water. And also do not forget to add that all-purpose seasoning and the Maggie cube. You mix everything well together. On this stage, we want the sauce to be cooked properly before we add in the fish. So with that being said, I'm going to close that lid, leave it on medium heat for about 5 to 10 minutes. Do check on it every now and then to avoid the sauce from burning. So my sauce has been cooking for about 7 minutes. I'm now going to pour in the fish and mix it all together, let it all mingle. Then add 200 to 300 milliliters of water. This depends on how thick you like your sauce and how soupy, is that even a word? Yeah, so this depends on how soupy you like the gravy to be. So do that and just mix it all well together. On this stage, the fish can be very fragile, so I wouldn't recommend you leaving it on high heat or leaving it for too long because it can literally break apart. So now, I know you saw 1 chili at first, but I'm feeling a bit brave, so I'm going to add 2 in there, make it more spicy. Then close the lid, leave it on medium heat for about 15 minutes. But do check on it every now and then and give it a stir if it needs to. And after that, et voila, c'est prêt à manger. Guys, this smells so beautiful and it tastes absolutely amazing. You can serve this with rice, with plantain, with semolina. I previously served it with semolina. You can also have it aside with pondu, with spinach, with so many things that just goes so well. And guys, this is my favorite. I literally heart. I triple heart this with plantain. It's just a lengi moko. It's just like amazing. I love it. So thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you like to serve this with, and I hope this video was helpful. Please do not forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. I'll speak to you soon on my next video. Ciao.